So now let's start with the webinar. I think we have uh, few attendees over here as well. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Varun Patel and I am the CEO at Spokes Digital. Spokes Digital is the leading provider of digital marketing services for cannabis and hemp CBD industry. Today we are presenting webinar on high impact email marketing for cannabis and hemp and CBD industries. That will be presented by myself and Lauren Laplante. Lauren is the chief growth officer of the company, and she has great experience and will help us to navigate this webinar. And we would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your Zoom control panel. And we can bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have time for questions at the end. And a recorded version of the webinar will be available on our Spokes website as always. So now without further ado, we'll start with the presentation. So let me share the screen, and Lauren, it's over to you now.
Thank you, Varun. And thanks everyone for joining us. If you've been participating in our other webinars, you know that we started these when the pandemic started, and it's been a great series for us. So today, as Varun said, we're going to be talking about email marketing and making this specific to the cannabis, hemp, and CBD industries. Go ahead, Varun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always start out with a quote. If social media is the cocktail party, then email marketing is the meetup for coffee. The original one-on-one channel. That's Eric Harpison. And I'm going to say this a few times during my time talking here, that with email marketing, you have direct communication with the user, unlike any other channel, social media. So that's what's one thing that makes email marketing very important, is that you actually have someone's email address and you're communicating to them directly the message that you want to tell them. And here's some statistics. The other thing about, a few other things about email marketing that's so important, it's inexpensive and it's a very high return. You see this number here on the right is for $44. The amount email marketing drives for every dollar you spend, that's quite a return on investment, ROI of $44 to $1. And it's also easy to implement, something that, with the proper plan, you can do an email marketing campaign quite easily. And here's some other statistics that I find interesting. For example, for B2B marketers, if there's anyone here on the webinar interested in B2B, it's 31% of B2B marketers say that email newsletters are the best way to nurture leads. Mobile openings accounted for 46% of all email opens. And the list goes on and on. It's quite a unique opportunity to reach out to your users in very specific ways. Okay, now we're going to get into why email is crucial for online shops, for you as an online retailer. Access to customers. Again, I'm going to keep repeating the same message. Most consumers have an email address. Sometimes they have several email addresses. And once you have the customer's email, you can send them direct messaging. So like I said earlier, unlike other social media channels, the email marketing, you have direct line of communication to the end user. You have possession of their email address and you have control of that messaging. Next slide, Brian. And you can promote on a very personal level. Later on, we're going to talk about how important segmentation is in your email campaign. So providing a personal promotion or something that a messaging that the user will, a message that will resonate with them is very important. So here again, especially for cannabis and CBD and hemp, at the bottom there I've highlighted, unlike any other social media, email marketing, you have way more leeway the messaging and communications that you can provide to the users. You don't have, the Google police or the Facebook police there. And statistically, you'll get more conversions because your messaging is specific to that user, and that user is there for a reason. That email address, they've given you an email address because they're interested in what you have to say. So the statistics show that the conversions are much higher for email than any other social channel. And at the bottom there was a highlight where customers definitely like offers that come through the email, discounts and things. Now we're going to talk about email marketing campaign types. So this is good laundry list here. We have the welcome email, right? Somebody comes to your site, they're interested in it, and they'll subscribe, offer you their email. You have a pop-up window, most likely, and that gives you an opportunity right from the start to start sending them communications, educating them, right? Especially for cannabis and CBD, what do? We really want to educate the consumer on how our products are going to help them, how they're different, how they're better. Next slide, Brent. And the standard promotional campaign. So this is, say you have a new product that you want to promote. You can certainly do that through your email marketing campaign, but here you want to be creative with that. You want to really get the attention of the consumer to be interested in, for example, a new product or the product that you're promoting. So perhaps add some humor, leave the customer curious, right? So they may be interested in the product, in purchasing the product, maybe even offer a giveaway or a free sample of the product. The seasonal campaign, here we are coming into the holiday season, and there's many opportunities for email campaigns here. So here we've captured an image of Happy Halloween, and so get some edibles for the holiday, and now's the time for candy, right? I think Halloween is 2 days away. So here some things to consider with the seasonal campaign is you definitely want to start early. Get in there early, get the customer's interest, maybe put out more frequent emails during this time, and also the colors. Just make things really attractive. So again, you see this example on the right here with the yellow and the red, just making the image very colorful. And also an exclusive offer, an exclusive discount. Consumers really like that when you do that, especially around the holidays. The triggered email series. And what this is basically if one thing happens, then a certain email is sent. So let me just go through some of the 4 types of trigger emails. You'll have a campaign activity and someone who's part of that campaign list. So again, this is segmentation is important in here. They'll click on a specific link. The list management, that triggers an automated email when someone is manually added to a list. A workflow activity. These emails are triggered when a subscriber opens something or doesn't open something, right? You can come back to them and say, hey, we saw you were interested in this, or say, hey, did you miss this email? So either way, you can customize the email that you send them on that trigger. The e-commerce triggers the email as the customer makes a purchase. So they purchase something and then they'll get a confirmation of that purchase, for example. And you'll see more examples as we go through the slides here of that. Go ahead, Varun. The post-purchase strip. So this actually is similar to that fourth trigger email. So when somebody makes a purchase, the confirmation can come up. Your order is on the way, the example on the right here. And then you can even upsell or cross-sell other products that they might be interested in, given what they already bought. So there's an opportunity for another type of email campaign. This is connect via social campaign. So basically, this is kind of a back and forth. And here's a statistic here that 158% higher click-through rate for the social sharing buttons. Now, it makes sense that that's such a high click-through rate because you have a captured audience. You know exactly what they're looking for. So in this campaign, what this does is we'll send an email with a link to social media, and the person goes to social media, can go back to the email as well. So you're getting people both ways, either by email and by their newsfeed, social media. Next. So the newsletter, this is a nurturing email, and it's not so much selling, but it's creating a relationship with the customer. You might, with a newsletter email, might tell them about new things of the product that they previously purchased, or given a product that they previously purchased, maybe other products that they'd be interested in, educating them on how your products are better, how other people have benefited from your products, and perhaps even make a newsletter entertaining as well. The abandoned cart series. So this email campaign, you'll find this to be very fruitful because again, you're capturing people who already showed interest in your products, and for whatever reason, they didn't complete a purchase. Maybe they got distracted. So sending them an email, and they would be very appreciative of, hey, here's a reminder. We saw maybe you left something in the cart and you didn't finish the purchase. Maybe they want to come back and certainly buy those products that they had shopped for already. So something like saying, hey, we noticed that you didn't finish checking out. Here's a 10% discount. So giving them encouragement or an incentive to complete that purchase. The re-engagement campaign, this is important for two reasons. Re-engaging with folks, maybe they went to another brand and they tried something, and then you re-engage with them and they say, hey, I really like that product. I'm going to come back. You may want to give them some incentive to come back to you as well. Besides encouraging purchases with a re-engagement campaign, you're also kind of cleaning up your email list, because if someone really isn't interested, it's a good idea to get them off of your email list because it improves your deliverability rate. And Varun will be talking about that later, the importance of deliverability. So here's an example looking at Google Analytics screenshot here of a CBD client that we have. You can see these email campaigns that they ran with a course of, here's here's their plan, right? So each one is a series, the order process, order approval. Here's a July 4th sale, a summer sale. So here, the welcome email. So here you can really see the effectiveness of each one of these campaigns. So you can see how many users clicked, the bounce rate, and even, most importantly, how much revenue was generated through each one of these campaigns. So then next, and the conversion rate is very high as well, almost 11%, which is unbelievable for a channel. So what you can do is then, given this data, you can look at how these campaigns did, and then the next year, make some improvements perhaps, or maybe add a couple more email campaigns to fill in maybe another holiday like Memorial Day, or it's really a good way to track things and take lessons learned. Now here's similar email campaigns planning from a cannabis client. So here again, you can see, look at that conversion rate is 10%. You can also track the revenue generated from each one of these campaigns. But again, you can see, the success of each one of these. Look at the Father's Day did very well compared to the others. So, that's something that you want to continue with next year. Next slide, Brian. Now we're going to get into the email campaign strategies. Okay, so here's, in general, at Spokes Digital, what we do, we have some general campaign guidelines. So you always want to have a goal for a campaign. So it could be something as simple as you want to build your email list. That's your goal. And let's say, give an example, your goal is to promote a new product that you have. Then you want to establish 2 or 3 themes for messaging of that target product. Let's say in this example, let's say it's a new product. You want to nurture the user, and you want to educate them as to why this product might be better, or might help them in some way that they're looking for help. Then you're going to plan your email campaign series. This planning piece is extremely important. So you want to set out your calendar and figure out how many emails you're going to send a week. We recommend at least 1 to 2 emails per week. And then what is the messaging that each email is going to have in it? So here's another kind of best practice that we've learned is you write your targeted content around the high converting. So you make sure that you include those high converting keywords. And for example, if you ran a paid ads promotion or even your search engine optimization, you have a good idea of what your high converting keywords are, include them in those emails, in your email messaging. So again, 1 to 2 emails per week that doesn't flood their mailbox, but keeps you top of mind if you send 1 or 2 emails a week. And also the structure of the email series. Let's say, again, you're promoting a new product. You want to educate your user and nurture them with what's good and why they should try this product. So for every 5 emails you send, 1 should be the sales email, right? So that's the 80-20 rule. And I put the image of this couple here because you think about it as kind of like dating, right? You don't ask someone on a date right away. You get to know them through text messaging, emails, phone calls, and that's the nurturing piece of it. And then you ask them on a date, you ask them to buy, okay? So that's the reasoning here, and that's what we found works very well. And the segmentation, okay. Segmentation is extremely important in email marketing. I mean, we do it in all other types of marketing. So segmentation is important because you want to get the relevant message to the customer who has a specific interest. So one thing that I want to note that's really important in customer segmentation, it's really only effective with 1,000 subscribers. Well, why is that? You need a good volume of subscribers to be able to do really to segment, right? You need enough information to be able to see who's interested in what and where, how to create those segments. A/B testing. So here, within your email series that you've planned, like I spoke about earlier, you can also do A/B testing with with each email. And what you do with the A/B testing is you can test different subject lines. What are people going to click on? Maybe you want to put an emoji in that subject line, maybe you don't. So A/B testing will help you understand, which subject line gets the most click-throughs. So you can see, right, Varun is pointing out here, let's say you have a subject line that says, we have a new product. Then another subject line says, we have a new product with an emoji. And the subject line with the emoji has a higher opening rate. So you know that you want to go ahead, continue the campaign with the subject line that has the emoji, for example. Then you can also test the time limited. Let's go back just a second, Bruin. You can also, with the A/B testing, you can also test the time limited offers, offer them 20% if they buy by, November 15th, for example. Okay, go ahead. Next slide. The omni-channel approach. So I had spoken earlier about the keywords, and I'm going to say it again here. So when you're looking at, when a customer sees you, they don't just see you through email, they see you through social media, they see you through your packaging, through your website. So there's many different channels, and you want to make sure that your messaging is consistent throughout all those channels. So that's what we mean when we say, an omni-channel approach. And again, you'll know from your search engine optimization, you'll know from other activities that you're doing around social media, for example, taking those keywords that are high converting and using them throughout your messaging. Okay. Marketing automation is most effective in the series email. So earlier I had spoken about how important it is to plan, right, to have this email series. So it might be the welcome series, it might be a birthday series, it might be the seasonal sale series. And I know Varun is going to talk a little bit more about the automation of that. Varun, and then we have another couple of examples again. Here's a CBD client who's done some email marketing here. And you can see, again, here's that conversion rate. And you'll see how important it is compared to, so Varun's pointing out here, you have the organic, which has the most users, direct, referral, and then email. So this is actually the fourth highest traffic coming in. Bounce rate is fairly low. Here's a cannabis client, same thing. You have the direct, organic, paid ads, referral, and the email is still up there, right? So it's right in the middle of the series, as Varun is pointing out, and the revenue generated is quite high compared to, for example, a referral being organic, for example. So it really, email marketing should be in your portfolio of social media. It's a very important piece. Now I'm going to turn it over to Varun, who will begin talking about the AI-powered content and marketing personalization. Varun?
Thank you, Lauren. So we will go through the next topics on the agenda. So as Lauren has talked about many things on the strategies and how can we automate the whole workflow. I think nowadays, as we can see the technology is improving, the artificial intelligence and big data is playing a big role in getting a lot of success for the marketing campaigns. And you can see from this research, like this on the top, you can see the open rate is 44.1% for the emails that have that have created interactive email experiences. So and that is like 44.1%. Second on the list is I can say 39.5% open rate is for emails that have focused more on personalization and subscriber lifetime value. And then third and fourth are of course there's a big difference between the second and third and other ones is because that um, like we have a lot of data and we collect a lot of data nowadays from the emails, and we also have visitors who come to the website. We have a social media data on that, and there's a lot of data that we have. But how can we use that data? How can we use those emails? How can we use those cookies that you are collecting is very important. So so this next slide will talk about that how will personalize the marketing, basically email marketing in for that matter. It's like how can we say that how can we segment the audience based on interest and shopping preferences. So as Lauren was talking about on the previous slides about segmentation, but we have to see what are the uh, areas that we can segment. For example, what are the interests of people who have come to your website? How can we find that out? How can we find at which stage of the shopping funnel has someone dropped, and what kind of communication is required to send the right kind of messaging to that person from that funnel. And right messaging, so right messaging for the right people as per the interest, as per the shopping preferences, as per the stages they dropped from the funnel, and at the right moment means it would be exactly at the right moment when they need it. For example, it's like when somebody has dropped on the abandoned cart, you can send immediately an email reminding them about the offer, or maybe if there is another sale coming up or any offer coming up that is like a same kind of product that someone has bought earlier, so sending the right email to that person. For example, if somebody is looking for CBD pain cream and dropped from the cart, and you have a sale coming on CBD pain cream, maybe on Halloween, or maybe on the maybe Black Friday, then maybe you can send an email reminding that same person, and it should be very personalized. That we see that you have missed to buy this product maybe last month, and now there's an offer, so we're reminding you to buy it again. So this is very right moment for targeting that customer who dropped earlier. Then right suggestions. So if I recommending products, and we same kind of products, if someone has bought some product earlier, that is for example is a CBD gummy, then you can recommend some other eatable, maybe kind of product that can be maybe maybe chocolate, or it can be kind of maybe a CBD coffee, or maybe something like that. So maybe you can have the right kind of personalization for each event, and with the right messaging and the right suggestions, so that the conversion rate becomes very high and open rate becomes very high, and you can generate more revenue. That's the whole purpose of having the AI and automation in that way. So AI helps you to understand that the machine is intelligent enough to understand that when to send which kind of email, and how to understand the data that is uh, there with the CRM you're using. So basically you need to use a lot of CRM. So maybe if someone is using Salesforce CRM, then I think Salesforce CRM has that ability, because it can easily trigger the emails based on the data that you collect. So it will help you to determine, like for example, what kind of content and image should be used to draft the welcome emails, and maybe or maybe kind of order update emails or retention emails to achieve the highest amount of engagement and conversion possible. So we have to see that how can we use those systems in place. So if you have Marketo, if you have a Salesforce, then maybe this is very easy for you to use the features. This is something we can do that. So smart personalization. So this is again one example we have shown on the right side, like there's a birthday, and then we personalize the email based on the kind of preferences that someone has, and we send a kind of a surprise gift, and we ask someone to choose maybe like from the list, and then somebody can maybe feel that yeah, we remember the birthday, and we can also give you the selection that they want. So AI, for example, can help you to analyze the consumer behavior and also to study the interest to generate data-driven insight. And it will make you possible to customize emails, and that will be like for each individual subscriber you can do that. So it will look like that it is written by humans, because everybody likes the personalization and personalized touch. Nobody wants to be part of the bombarded mass emails. So that is something that can help you to personalize if you have right CRM systems and email integration with that CRM. The role of big data. So the big data also plays a very good role, because big data is like having a six blind men and the elephant. So it's like everybody has its own sense of the big data. So it's like so as I mentioned, like everybody has their own version of how the elephant looks like. Maybe someone is saying that okay, it's like a trunk, it's like a tail, it's like a leg, and all this kind of a stomach. So big data uh, is something that we have to use to get kind of, for example, who is coming to website, who are the visitors, which pages they have visited, and how many times they have read a particular piece of information, and how many times they have made a purchase, how many times they have dropped from the cart. So big data will help you not only to understand the customer behavior on the website, but also will help you to segment those subscribers based on the behavior that you have seen on the website. And this can easily be seen by the like this is given by big CRM systems, and nowadays a lot of CRM systems also give CRMs to SMEs. Like Salesforce has a very cheap plans for the SMEs, and you can use that big data features by integrating your email system with the Salesforce, and you can understand exactly how big data can help you to customize your experience for your prospective customers, and and not to have a generalized emails to send in the future. The future is more about I think understanding how machines can understand both personalization and relevance. So that becomes very crucial for email marketers. So I think we need to just see that how steadily we can uh, how machine can learn that, for example, what is segmentation that can be done on which parameters. So you are giving parameters to machine in advance, that these are the parameters for segmentation. If there is a there on a customer life cycle, there is a abandoned cart, then maybe this is the, and there is a age group, there is a product category. So you give the criterias, and then based on those criterias, uh, the machine can understand and what is required to be done, and then we can also write the timing, and the content can be given, and then machine can use it to customize the emails, and it will help you to increase engagement, and also personalizing the all will also able to personalize the promotions in that way. Because it is very important to send promotions to the right people who like the right kind of product. For example, if someone in the age group 45 to 60, 45 to 50 age group, if someone likes a product that is a gummy product, then I think you should send the promotion for the gummy product whenever any product in your whole e-commerce store has the promotion for the gummy. And person within the age group of 45 to 60 or 45 to 50 should get that promotion. So machines learn this from the criteria that you provide in the CRM system that you have for your email marketing. So that was about the AI content, how can we use it. Next would be more about key steps and best practices to elevate email marketing campaigns, and we can understand how can we increase the open rate and conversion rate from the campaigns. So here's one research from the, I think, from Marketing Sherpa, and we can see the that how email open rate is better for like regular emails, at least monthly. So if you have a monthly emails, so I think it has a better kind of a open rate if you have monthly emails, and then at least weekly, then you can see that there's a lesser open rate, and daily has a, of course, is very less open rate. So I think we should not bombard our customers with the emails maybe daily or twice a week in that way. So I think we should always be relevant. We should always be personalized with the email messaging we are doing. Maybe at least weekly is fine, but I think we should not go on daily basis in that. So because the major issue that we have seen on email marketing from our experience is that deliverability, and that actually uh, and that is proportional to the open rate. So we have to first step is to understand how can we increase the deliverability of the emails, and that is a very major issue because everybody is using some of the emails providers like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo. So we need to monitor the engagement, and when we send any email, there's always a gateway that blocks the emails and filters them. If there's a spam content, they'll filter it and they'll put it into the spam. And if you are passing the filter, and if they are not getting into spam filter, then it will go to the inbox. So we need to find out how can we reduce the spam rate of our emails. So we need to see for example, the engagement by domain. So we have multiple domains through which we can send emails, and if your open rate is not even 10%, then it means there's a red flag. It means that your emails are going to spam. So we need to check it out, how can we reduce this spam rate. So there are few ways to do that. Maybe what we can do, we can segment the list based on domain performances. So if you have, for example, Gmail having an open rate of 10%, but Hotmail has an open rate of 15%, and Yahoo has an open rate of maybe 20%. So you can segment emails and possibly don't use the domains that have a less than 15% open rates, and always go for the higher ones. And always try not to use the spammy subject lines, for example, having something on free as a winner, or maybe as a maybe hurry up, and maybe avail the offer now. All these kind of subject lines will always take you to the spam. It will never be delivered to the inbox. So never use these subject lines that have all those keywords. I have some sample keywords. So here there's a long list of sample keywords. If you want to know more, you can reach out to us. We can help you possibly to get that list and maybe use that to avoid using them on your subject lines. And there's also a service for Google Postmasters. So sign up for the service, and it will help you to monitor the reputation with Gmail and monitor your email performance, and it will help you to let your messages not go to the uh, spam in that way. And always write an alt text. So when you are writing an email, so a lot of time I have seen that people forget to do that. It's very important to have a alt text. It has a factor to determine sender reputation, because basically all the domains and all the service providers will read that what this email is all about, and it will be high reputation if you have the right alt text for the email. And you always ask your subscribers to whitelist your emails, so that they get the emails to the inbox, and also enable the double authentication. So that is because I think everybody requires users to confirm the interest in joining your email list. Ensure, and it will ensure that the only people receiving your emails are the ones that can be expected to open them. So it is double authentication that can be done to avoid the spamming uh, on the email marketing. So some best practices that you can use is always include unsubscribe buttons, personalize with the segment lists that you create, test your emails before sending to the customers, clean your list regularly, as Lauren was also talking about this point earlier. write like a human. So maybe if you can't write, then use CRM systems like Salesforce, who can maybe personalize the emails as they look like a personal emails. Use emojis, numbers, and special characters. It will help you to increase the open rate, and it has been seen through the research also. The emails who have more numbers and emojis, they have higher open rates than the normal ones. Always include the preview text and keep content quality very very high. So you'll see from the examples over here. So you can see some of the examples that we have done for our client. So this is, for example, this is one of the email we did for a Labor Day weekend, and it gives some kind of offer, and it's like it has offer like where their friends can also save some money if they want to avail the offer. And then we also send an email following up that is the last day of the whole promotion, and if they want to check the offer, they can come and take that. So it's very high in creative in visual effects, and very less content, but very clear and precise kind of content. Some other examples we have seen who have a very visual kind of and very effective kind of messaging, like last chance BOGO free on all oils. Simple messaging, somebody can click and check it out. And similarly for the like this like half day. So it's like for the CBD gummies, Halloween with $10 off CBD gummies, and it's very specific with the code, and it says shop gummy. So it has a very clear cut messaging. Maybe it also has a like there's also an emergency where it says sale ends on 1st November, so we need to hurry up, and there's a like a urgency, and then there's a call to action, so people can easily click and have a visual appeal is there, like they can visualize what they are going to buy, what does it look like in that way. And it is also like an HTML where images and text are different. So even though sometimes customers are not able to see the images, so they can at least see the text, and then click on the call to action in that way. So always use HTML format of the emails where the uh, images and text are separate, and they can also work on the mobile properly. So there we have done some research based on our experience, and we have seen there are some service providers who are having very specific service for cannabis and hemp CBD brands. So you can see some of the uh, channels that we have used, like Mozen, MailerLite, Clavio, Automizi, Omnisend, OnGage, and Dot Digital. So all of these providers have a specific service for cannabis and hemp CBD brand, because as you also know, there's a lot of regulations that are there on the email. So you can use one of them to maybe see that which one works for your brand in that way. Now we'll talk about some tactics and key metrics for cannabis and hemp CBD brands. It is specific to cannabis and hemp CBD industry. So we can see this one. So combine sign up with age overlays to get a boost of new subscribers. So a lot of time we have seen on website when somebody enters, it's like an age gate, and this is a very smart way of doing that, having an age gate over here, but also having a kind of sign up process over here. So both are combined so that you have a much probability of getting subscribers. Second is like getting the in-store signups at checkout. So we have seen a lot of cannabis and dispensaries and retailers. So a lot of people go inside the store. So I will ask our customers if they would like to sign up for the email, and probably you can put an iPad on display, and there's email registration form. So generally we have seen that, so maybe we can follow that process to increase the signups, and that is a very good way. It's like online equivalent of e-commerce. So checkout is very as handy. So you have opt-in email, and end of every transaction you can get the email. So this is an example, that opt-in email. So if somebody buys it, maybe you can say wait, this off on the order, just enter email to apply your discount, and just do that. Getting personal, because sometimes what we have seen a lot of states, have regulations. They don't allow to sell recreational maybe cannabis. So what we can be done, like as per the state, we can create a very personalized kind of a pop-up where we can show that we are staying legal with the location and the product offerings as per the state. So that is a very good way to get a much higher subscribers for your service, and you also know personally that who have subscribed from which state and what kind of messaging should be done for each customer. Next is like staying legal with the location and product offering. So this is one way of doing that. So we can give a pop-up like this if we are selling on the states where our products are not legal to sell. So we can see maybe your email here. I'm shopping for the products, and based on the products they are shopping, based on the locations, maybe we can figure out that uh, what products can be sold to whom, and they can we can only send the information that they want to get. For example, if somebody wants to buy pain relief products, only send the emails or offers to that same person only having pain relief products, and same thing goes on for the other category of products and people. So it helps you to get personal as well as to stay legal as well. Now next is like for example, we can see the ease an example where, for example, cannabis delivery company ease, they are getting information based on the locations. So company can find out the information based on the location of the customers, so that they can know that who is where, and can send the drivers to deliver in the real time basis. So that is something is helpful for the kind of business we are doing. Then it's like automating your welcome and life cycle messages. So this is again very smart email practice where you automate the email where somebody subscribes and you send an automated email with the code for the signing up. Then combining email messaging with the SMS text messaging. That is a very smart way of actually getting the customer. So as Lauren was talking about omni-channel experience and marketing, so that is one example in that way. When you send an email, I think same kind of promotion should go on with the messaging, and maybe you can do the same kind of promotion on the social media, or same can be followed on SEO and also on paid media campaigns like Google Ads. So we have helped our clients to do this continuously, and we have, so despite of having a lot of cannabis regulations on Google and Facebook, we have helped our clients to go live, and when they send any email on any promotions, we have the same kind of offer going on the all the channels, so that the visibility of the offer goes very high, and the open rate becomes very high for emails, and it impacts the overall I will say performance of the campaigns. So so this is one example where the emails and SMS have went on the same time, and I think that is a great way to bulk up the marketing strategy, and we can start collecting the data to do that. So the next step is like how can we track the success of the marketing campaign, and there's always like key matrices for success of email marketing campaign. So I think most important KPIs are mentioned over here. So number one is number of unique opens. So how many subscribers have opened on the campaign, opened the emails on the campaign. Number of bounces. So this is like, because we have seen as per the industry, as per the research, the email addresses. So like people change the emails, 25 to 30% of emails change every year. So we need to see that how many emails are bouncing. If they're bouncing, we need to take that out of from a database and maybe or refresh the emails with the new emailers. Number of emails not opened. We can see how many people have not opened the overall emails. Open rate. What is the open rate for the campaign? Click through rate of the campaign when they click on a link. Unsubscribe rate, and that is a very good parameter because I think it shows that how much people love us and how much is the overall loyalty for our brand in that way. Spam complaints, a lot of people actually do this. If they don't like, then they mark as spam, and then it puts us into a bad reputation with Google or Yahoo or Outlook, and if we are getting maybe marking as spam, then I think it's a red alert for us, and we should always uh, maybe refrain from using those emails to send any kind of communication. Number of people who are sharing the email with their friends or with their social circles, that should be tracked as well. And I think that's a very important thing. So as Lauren was talking about, having a social sharing button on the email, so maybe the open rate and the conversion rate increased for the emails who have social sharing buttons. So that is very important to have as a parameter to check at the end of the campaign performance. And if all these parameters are working well, then success of campaigns can be also be ensured in that. Now we have a question and answers time. So let's see if there's any question.
So, Brian, yes, we have some questions here. Sunny Lowe's asks, what time is best to advertise with maximum offer?
Okay, so I think what time in when you say like the time of the day.
Maybe time of day, maybe day of week. It's not clear, but
Okay, so I think
yeah,
that is something I think we can uh, see. So actually, this is very important to understand what is the age group we are targeting, what kind of products we are selling, because each product resembles a particular target audience. So as I
yeah,
was saying, about 45 to 50, it is the age group, and they like maybe buying gummies. So and or maybe they like buying CBD pain cream. So generally, they browse during the maybe afternoons and during the evenings. So that is something very specific to I think brand, and it depends brand by brand. We need to see more data, but if you have different age groups and different products, I think we can see our analytics to find out more about this information.
yeah, exactly. Okay, next question is, are there any email opt-in rules specific to CBD cannabis? For example, a double opt-in confirmation.
Yeah, so that's why I think we shared the list of email providers who are having the specific service to cannabis and hemp CBD industry. So there is a so generally there are two rules that I can think of. One is the age group, like someone should not be below 21 to opt in for the emails. So and we cannot send any emails to anybody who is below 21. And second is probably if there is a uh, for example, there is a state where you're not able to you're not legalized to sell your products. If somebody is subscribing for your emails, then probably uh, there has to be a double opt-in. One is through your maybe subscriber button, and second can be through your maybe if it's through social media or somebody has already bought your products in that way. So you have to check it out probably with the email providers. How do they manage to do that for your products?
Next question is, how can I grow my subscriber list from email marketing?
So I think again this is a very generic question, and Lauren has talked about like having a different kind of email. So plan for different kind of emails, maybe having a welcome series, and then having a lot of emails like your birthday reminders, having the offer. So I think you should have the calendar for the whole year, and they should be divided by the month, and then we should be divided by the week. So I think having one email every week and having it planned in advance is very important. So so that can be like, and having a right segmentation and having an A/B test. All these things are very important. So plan your calendar as per your products and as per the state you are selling, and then probably segmentize your audiences and the messaging and try it out. We can only learn it when we actually execute these campaigns for first month.
Another question, given the importance of direct communication of email, SMS, without the rules of paid media such as Facebook and Instagram and paid search, in your experience in CBD and cannabis, how is revenue attribution by marketing channel different than more traditional retailer?
So I think this is something. I think revenue attribution is very high for the leverage channels, and I think we cannot compare with the retailers here because um, it's like a more about like people who are coming via Google Organic and finding you like organically, and then be finding a product and then they're making a purchase. Second is maybe so we have to find out which channels are performing. So email I have seen that has the highest conversion rate, as Lauren was also showing you guys, like 10 or 11% conversion rate for the cannabis CBD client who was doing email marketing, and 10% for the cannabis client, for the delivery client. So the conversion rate is very high for the emails versus the retail. I think retail is more about it's like high conversion rate because people go to the retail location where it's like more about like they have a need and they go to purchase it. So it's more about like a push versus pull marketing. So email is more about, I think it's about like it's like a push marketing, and I think dispensary or retail locations more about like pull marketing. So the
Mm.
so it will take, excuse me.
It's just another, you know, you think about kind of the circle of your marketing, the email marketing is just another cog in that wheel. So as Varun was saying, one is push and one is pull. So the email marketing is the push.
Yeah, Lauren.
You
Yeah.
you okay, Varun? Okay. All right. There's a couple more in the chat. This if Latoya is still on, I don't quite understand this question. It says, did we skip a slide 3 slides ago? I know she saw something that was a Cheech and Chong slide.
Oh, I think
Latoya,
yeah.
yeah, if you can give more detail on that, I'm not following that question.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. Even though it's in
Yeah.
escape, we will
So
skip.
the next one is email marketing still effective? Will I get the expected result from email campaigns? What technology should I take care of while sending emails?
So
So I'll just,
yeah, Lauren.
yeah, I mean, email marketing is very effective. As you saw, we had click-through rates over 10%, and you saw the revenue coming from the program. But the other thing about email marketing is that it's easy to implement. Like I said earlier, it's inexpensive and it's a very high return on your investment, on your ROI. The investment you really need to put into it is the planning, just planning the campaigns. And what is the click-through rate I should be expecting from the email? So we saw some click-through rates around 10, 11%. Is that typical of around or?
Yes, I mean, so emails have a very high conversion rate because of the same reason that they are very personalized, and I think they are very specific to what a customer has probably behaved earlier with the website. So I think this is very high, and we have seen like 10 to 15%, even 10 to 11% is something that we saw for the clients we shared the case study. But I think up to 15%, and we have seen 15 to 17% also we have seen. So I think anything that is above 10% is very good performance. and above 15% is like I would say exceptional.
That's it for the questions. If anyone has anything else, you can. Actually, we're 1 minute after, so it's good timing.
Yeah, so absolutely. So I think we have covered most of the points here. Maybe we have been maybe fast. If someone has questions, they can always reach out to us.
Hmm.
Are there any questions over here? Varun?
Yeah, just someone is thanking us, so you're very welcome. Gregory Taylor, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining and spending an hour with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, and we are looking forward to we present again the next topic in
Mhm.
couple of weeks, and we'll keep you updated.